Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are going to start off the day with a little bit of happy mail. Terry Ryan very graciously sent me some of these little spatulas, and oh my god, I'm so excited, you guys. These are amazing. I'll be using them for the first time today. I can't tell you how much resin you actually can save using these. Like, it's insane. It really truly is. Terry, thank you so much. Like, you don't even know. And then she also sent me this little mold to make your own handles for your trays, which I'm super excited about. I've never actually made a tray with handles before, so I cannot wait to do this. I have an idea in my head that I want to play around with, so watch out for that video coming up in the next several weeks. Anyway, again, thank you so much, Terry, from the bottom of my heart. I truly appreciate you. Okay, on to the main event for today. Let's Resin has dropped 3 new sets of molds, and I'm so excited, guys. Like, I don't know if you've seen them or not, but just wait. All right, first up, it is their new release of skull molds. Now, you get 4 different sized skull molds in this set, which is super cool. I haven't cast them yet. I don't know if they are the same shape. I feel like they're a little bit different than their previous ones. I mean, obviously there's 2 other sizes in there, right? Because before we had the larger one and the smaller one. Now, if it's the same size, I don't know. I didn't measure. But we get 2 new sizes, which is really cool. I have some ideas with this. I'm not sure about the actual shape. It's kind of hard to tell if it's any different or if it's the same. I do like the sturdy base on the bottom as opposed to the other one. And it is super squishy silicone. Like, it is a very nice silicone. So super excited to try those out, especially with Halloween coming up really fast. You know what I mean? All right, on to the next one. This one kind of I have a soft spot for. It is they have 2 dinosaur molds. Now, the first one is a T-Rex, super cool, nice sturdy base, really cute mold. And then this guy. I mean, come on, this is so freaking adorable. Like, oh, it's so cute. We'll talk about why that has a soft spot in my heart in a little bit. On to the next one. This one, I can't tell you how excited I am about this. I think these are adorable. I mean, look at that. Look at how cute that is. Oh, I'm so excited to make these. Like, you don't even know. Like, I want to throw everything out that I've got down the line just so I can make these right now, but I can't. I've got to be strong. I've got to be strong. I got some other ones, but I think they're super cute. Okay, so for today, we are doing the dinosaurs. Now, first things first, the silicone is super squishy, really soft. I'm going to start with this little guy. Now, I found some eyes that will fit inside. It's the 12 millimeter size glass eye, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use a little bit of my Bond Craftor UV resin for this, and just put the tiniest little dot in there. I already drew the lines on which way the oh my god, I can't think. The black part of the eye. I can't think of what it's called for the life of me right now. Anyway, so that I can make sure that when I put them on, they're going in the same direction and it's not all kind of wonky. You know what I mean? Hit it with my Let's Resin flashlight, UV flashlight, just for a moment, just to kind of set it in place. And then I'm going to do the next one. Now, you want to make sure you don't put too much UV resin in. I mean, like, you want enough because you want the eye completely, like the front part of it completely, like, in the UV resin, but not so much that it's going to go outside of the little eye area, because then it can create problems and make it look weird when you pour your regular resin in. You'll see that clear in there. So just be careful on that. Zap it real quick with my UV light after I make sure that they're kind of set and they're looking ish good, you know what I mean? And then I'm going to stick it under my cordless Let's Resin UV light for like 5 minutes just to make sure it's completely set. Like I don't want any issues with it. All right, so I have 16 ounces of resin mixing up. I'm using Let's Resin's epoxy for this today. Mixing up in my Resiners dual mixer. As I am getting my colors and everything sorted, we're going to be using two colors from Let's Resin's mica set, and then the rest of them are some eye candy colors. We're going to use Blue Blood. We're going to use what's it called? Beetle Blue. This orange, I can't remember the name of it. A brown, I can't remember the name of it. I'll have everything linked down below. And then we're going to use their Satori white pigment paste as well. I think that's it. Two blues, brown, orange. Yeah, that's it. And we're going to kind of, I want not like a marble per se, but I do want a blending of the colors in there, so that we get some definition in these dinosaurs. You know, dinosaurs aren't just one straight color. They have multiple colors. So that's what I'm going to do for this. Now, don't forget, if you want to get your hands on any of the Let's Resin products, I have discount codes. I flashed them on the screen before during the unboxing. Also have them listed in the description box. You can save 10% off your purchase, as well as for eye candy, which just flashed on the screen. You can save 10% off of your order with them as well. And yeah, let's get to it. Now, as I'm going to go ahead and mix up these colors, in my brain, right, added the amount. It was like 9 points or 8 point something, 8.9, something like that for the T-Rex mold, and then another, I want to say almost 8 for the little guy. I don't know. I mixed up 16 ounces of resin. I really thought that that was going to be enough. Clearly, my math wasn't mathing. It's not enough, but we'll deal with that later on. At this point, I didn't realize that it wasn't enough. So in my head, I'm trying to divide this resin up and decant it into the smaller cups so we don't have any issues with flash curing. And I'm trying to figure out how much I need for each one so that I can kind of, do it in all of the things. And yeah, it doesn't really even matter because I didn't do it right. So we're just going to continue on, and I'm going to tell you while I kind of mix this why I'm really excited about these dinosaur molds. So my son, my youngest son, he's the one that he just turned 16 last week, and he, when he was younger, I mean even still today, but when he was younger, and I'm talking like almost before he could talk, this kid loved dinosaurs. And when I tell you he loved dinosaurs, I mean like loved them in a way that I've never seen any child love anything before. Like he could pronounce. Have you ever looked at the scientific names for some of these dinosaurs? They're like 20 letters long. Before he was even in school, he could pronounce those long words that I couldn't even pronounce as an adult, tell you every single thing about literally every single dinosaur, the differences between them. I mean, this kid would read like those huge dinosaur books, and I'm not talking about kiddie books. I'm talking about like books that you would actually like look at, almost like an encyclopedia of dinosaurs, right? He would read those before he was even in school. And like, if you bought him, because he loved dinosaurs, so he wanted dinosaurs, right? But if you bought him a dinosaur toy that looked like a toy and it did not look realistic, he would let you know. Like, it would seriously anger him. This is not real. Like, it's just, it's insane. He was so much so into them that we had taken him, or he had this author come to his school one year. I think it was his kindergarten. Yeah, it was his kindergarten year. Come to the school, and she was talking about whales and stuff like that. And he was very knowledgeable about whales and stuff like that because it's one of the things that he was into almost as much as dinosaurs. And she was reading a book, and he would sit there and she'd ask a question or whatever, and he would go and on and on and on. And I mean, like information that a child in kindergarten shouldn't know. Do you know what I mean? To the point where this same author was doing a some kind of presentation or something like that to the teachers in the area at the college campus during the summertime, and she actually invited my son to be a guest speaker the year that he got out of kindergarten because he knew so much about dinosaurs, and just to talk to the crowd of teachers about dinosaurs. Like, that's how much this kid loved them. So I haven't seen a dinosaur mold ever, honestly. Like, not really. So I'm really, really excited that I can do something for him. I mean, yeah, they're kitty, and he's not so like mean about it now, but they're kitty like and whatever. Like, I would love to see some like real ones, like a whole line of dinosaur molds come out. I think would be super, super cool. But yeah, just I said all of that just to kind of say that like I'm really excited about this and happy and whatever. And now that I've done blabbed on for 20 minutes, let's get back to the video and talk about what I'm doing before I have someone yell at me for talking too much again. Anyway, back to what I'm doing. So I am going in there with each color and I'm just alternating colors, putting a little bit in. Now, at the head like part where all of the little like horns or whatever are coming out, I did stop and kind of push them out, make sure that there's no air bubbles stuck inside. Then I'm going to go continue on, fill it up a little bit more, do the same thing as I get to the point where I'm a little bit higher and there's more horns on there that need to get squeezed out. Now, I have to say that I do have a serious complaint about this mold. I love the actual, like, what it produces, right? However, the little stabilizer part on the back of the tail is made of the same squishy silicone and it's not thick at all. I had this mold fall over on me not once but twice and spilled resin everywhere. Not once but twice. So, I do have a complaint about the structure of it. However, I think that if they redesign it, they just need to make that piece thicker like they did in the see, here you go. Look, watch this. Like, I mean, I hardly moved it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was getting frustrated. Let's just say the very least. But I think if they made it thick like they did in the T-Rex, it would be much better, much more stable, and then you wouldn't have to worry about it. Um, yeah, that part is not good whatsoever. I learned because I had this happen before with another with the turtle molds. The yoga turtle molds are like this too. They're the stabilizers aren't they don't stabilize. Um where I should have put it into a like a cup or some kind of container or something like that to hold it. Well, I did on this, and I'll show you what I put it in. I put it in there thinking that it would be okay, it would hold it up, whatever, and then it still somehow fell over again in there. And thank God I caught it, but we'll talk about that when we go to demold. We'll go back to this right now. Now, for this guy, I'm doing the same thing. Now, he has some of the little spines things coming out of like down his back like most dinosaurs do. Um I didn't really have an issue with any kind of areas where air bubbles would get trapped. So I didn't have to spend the time on it that I did in the first one to make sure that no air bubbles were going in. Just going in with the three colors, moving it all around so that towards the outside, if you dump it all in the middle, it's just going to kind of puddle up and you're just going to get one color. So when you're doing something like this and you want a combination of different colors in there, your best bet is to kind of go along the outside of the mold so that with each color, so that you're going to be able to actually see it, as opposed to doing like a puddle pour and pouring it all in the middle. That only really works for flat, like your coaster molds, tray molds, stuff like that, where it's an elongated item and you're actually going to be looking at the bottom or the top of it. You know what I mean? As opposed to this where you've got a 3D more it's taller as opposed to wide. So if you do a puddle pour, you're only going to see what's on the outside. It's not going to move enough that you're going to be able to get like that marbling or that color of variation that you're looking for. Does that make sense? So anyway, at this point, I realized I didn't have nowhere near enough resin. So I did go off camera. I mixed up about 3 more ounces because I do need to add a little bit to the one that I lost resin because it dumped over. I do need to add a little bit more to that just to top it off. I did scrape up as much of that resin off the mat as possible just to save it and use what I could, but you know, it is what it is. Now, for this, I just mixed it up. It's not like cloudy or bubbly. It has some white pigment paste in there. I just mixed up clear and poured clear in there straight down the middle so that you won't see it. Okay. This is the next day. So you can see me complaining about the stabilizer and it's just not good at all. This is the container that I had put it in and I thought that it would be good, but it ended up tipping over backwards and then resin all in the bottom. So again, I had to scrape it up, put it back into the mold, and I do have, you know, the shrinkage along with just the resin loss. It's not like you can still see his toes and all of the things. So I'm just going to let it be what it is. I'm not topping it off again. It'll be fine. I'll just trim it. Now, I cannot trim it at this point because it hasn't been quite 24 hours. So it's still really, really soft around like the thinner pieces and it would just tear and I wouldn't get a very clean cut. So I'm going to wait on the cleaning up bit until that resin gets a little bit harder. Now, this mold was not very difficult to demold whatsoever. I thought it was going to be just because of the, you know, like the horns and whatnot coming out of it, but it really wasn't that bad. You just kind of got to wiggle it around the top and it came off honestly pretty easy. The T-Rex one, I struggled a little bit more, and that's mainly because that stabilizing bit on the back is a little bit thicker, so it's not quite so squishy, so you have to, like, where, yes, you can kind of flip it inside out-ish, uh, you've got to use a little bit more force to it. But look how cute he turned out. I get all of the colors in there. I think it turned out super, super cute. Now, it would have been better had I not dumped it over twice and all of the things. There are some areas where I did get some air bubbles, mainly right at the belly, right around his, underneath his arm and his chin is where I did get some air bubbles there. That's an issue. I mean, obviously, it's an issue that the mold has. Any mold like this, right? Not just this mold, but any mold like that is going to have where those kind of undercuts of the mold and overcuts and all the things happen where bubbles get trapped. I didn't pay enough attention to get it out. Plus the fact that it kept dumping over, I'm sure, and me scooping it back up and trying to get in there incorporated more air bubbles into it and all of the things that just happened. But as far as all of the little horns and stuff like that, they came out wonderful. No real issues there at all. All right, now the T-Rex. For him, I did not put the eyes in because of the shape of his eye, and even though I have several different sizes, none of them fit quite right. And I didn't want it to look stupid when if I put it in there and it just wasn't the right shape or whatever. So I just decided that for him, we're just going to paint on the eyes and do it that way instead. He turned out really, really cute too. Just at the very base of him, where there are a few tiny little micro bubble spots, that's it. Again, really cute. Could he have used a little bit more resin to top him up? Yeah, he could have, but it's fine. It'll be fine. These are for my son, so it's not like I'm it's going on my eBay site or anything like that. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to bounce off. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to kind of give these guys finishing details and bring them to life. And then I will be back when we are ready to wrap things up.
pocket. Stugosaurus on his bed, can't stop it. His room's a jungle, vines on the floor. Everywhere you look, it's a dino war. He roars like a king, stomps like a beast. Plates on his back, he's the Jurassic feast. Wade and the dinosaurs, wild and free. Bigger than the mountains, stronger than the sea. Wade and the dinosaurs, hear them roar. Every day's an adventure, can't ask for more. He wears a Triceratops on his shirt, Velociraptor sneakers, kicking up dirt. At lunch he trades snacks for fossil-shaped fries. Says he's digging for bones, got that look in his eyes. He dreams in scales, he swims in tar. Wade's heart beats like a meteor star. Wade and the dinosaurs, wild and free. Bigger than the mountains, stronger than the sea. Wade and the dinosaurs, hear them roar. Every day's an adventure, can't ask for more. Can't ask for more.
Stomping feet, the ground it shakes. Little dinos, big moves they make. Tail swings left, tail swings right. Dino shuffle all night. All night. Claws go clap, oh yeah. Scores go snap, oh oh. Hear that beat, can't hold back. Dino shuffle, shuffle go. Tiny arms but moves that glow. Shuffle left, shuffle right. Dinos dancing in the light. Shuffle, shuffle go. Raptors twist, their heads held high. T-Rex twirls, reaching for the sky. Stegosaurus, side to side. Dino groove, they never hide. Feet go thump, stomp, stomp. Hearts go jump, bum, bum. Feel the rhythm, can't stop me. Dino shuffle, shuffle go. Tiny arms but moves that glow. Shuffle left, shuffle right. Dinos dancing in the light. Shuffle, shuffle go.
I'm back as I kind of just finish up the last kind of few details on him. Now, the little guy I made kind of super cutesy. I purposely on the orange and red, like left orange, like when I was doing the spines on the back, I left a little bit of orange at the base just to kind of alternate the way that the nails and the horns and all of the things looked so that it had a little bit more just colorfulness, I guess, to it. So super cutesy, whatever. This one I wanted to do not quite as cutesy. So I put a little bit of red on his teeth for blood and on his front nails. I thought it was kind of cute. Plus the eyes look kind of menacing. So I don't know. All in all, I really, really like these. Enjoyed it thoroughly. Love how they turned out. Anyway, guys, before I bounce off of here, I just want to say another quick thank you to Terry for the Happy Mail. And I do have a huge, huge, huge thank you to Lynn Morris for all of the super chats lately. Lynn, it has been greatly, greatly appreciated. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Like, thank you. Anyway, that's a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you on Saturday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
In every comment, right? You lift me to new heights. Your support, it's clear, gives me reason to cheer.